way too early top 25 for 2024 has just been released by Action Network. Brett McMurphy, we're going to be breaking it all down here at episode 353 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it. Brett McMurphy, Action Network, way too early, top 25. And then when we're done with the top 25, we're going to be breaking it down how it would look like in the 12-team playoff format. West Virginia Mountaineers get the 25th spot. Brett McMurphy, Action Network, finished 9-4. Last year, 2024 schedule highlights: at home against Penn State. On the road a couple weeks later, backyard brawl against the Pittsburgh Panthers. At Arizona might be a big game. At Oklahoma State, Kansas State. Number 25, Neil Brown, West Virginia Mountaineers. Number 24, the NC State Wolfpack. Finished 9-4 this year, lost to Kansas State. In the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the 2024 schedule highlights for the Wolfpack: they play a game versus Tennessee in Charlotte, and then they got to go on the road to play Clemson and at North Carolina. A difficult schedule for North Carolina State. Action Networks has them at 24. Number 23, the Kansas Jayhawks. Big time season. They won 9 games, defeated UNLV in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Their schedule highlights are, well, against their rival, at Kansas State, at West Virginia, at home against Colorado. The Kansas Jayhawks, can they improve upon last season? The Kansas Jayhawks are still on the come. They're still rising there. Lance Leipold, Kansas Jayhawks, they get the 23rd spot. Number 22, the Miami Hurricanes. I don't know about this. Who's going to be the quarterback? They lost Tyler Van Dyke. Ja'Cory Brown, I don't think, is the answer. They're still searching for somebody in the portal. I would not have Miami in the top 25 right now in the way too early top 25. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comments section below the video. Miami finished 7-6 last year. They lost to Rutgers. Highlighted games for 2024 are at Florida, at Louisville, at home, Florida State at home, Virginia Tech. Then Action Network has the Hurricanes at 22. At 21, the USC Trojans, another team that I would not have ranked this high. I have to see it to believe it. I do not believe it yet on the defensive side of the football. Who's going to be the quarterback? Is it Miller time at USC? Last season, they finished 8-5. They defeated Louisville in the Holiday Bowl. Their scheduled highlights are against LSU, at Michigan, home Wisconsin, home Penn State, at Washington, at UCLA, at home against Notre Dame. USC with a difficult schedule. I have not seen it yet on defense. Is it going to be Miller time? A lot of question marks for Lincoln Riley. USC could become a very good squad. A little bit better than they were this year at 8-5. But do they get a top 25 ranking from PATC before this way too early? Nope, I don't think so. Put down again your comments and thoughts. Let me know how we got it all wrong at PATC if you are a believer in the USC Trojans for next year. Number 20, Florida State Seminoles. Undefeated, 13-0 this year. They lost to Georgia in the Orange Bowl. Action Networks have them dropping down quite a bit. 2024 schedule highlights: Clemson at home, at Notre Dame, at home against Florida. Number 19, Action Network, Brett McMurphy, way too early, top 25 for 2024. Utah Utes get 19. 8-5 record from last year. Last season, they lost to Northwestern and Las Vegas Bowl. Their 2024 schedule highlights are against Arizona, BYU at home, on the road Colorado, on the road Oklahoma State. I think I would have Utah a little bit higher in my way too early top 25. A little bit higher. Number 18, the Clemson Tigers. Finished 9-4. They came on strong the last 5 games of the year. They defeated Kentucky in the Gator Bowl. Klubnik looks like he's got to go in the quarterback. They're going to be missing some of their key players, however. They lost a couple guys in the transfer portal, a couple guys in the draft. Scheduled highlights. That game, the big game, August 31st in Atlanta against the Georgia Bulldogs. Holy smokes. What a way to start out this season. Then they got home games against Louisville, South Carolina. In between those 2 games are on the road against Florida State and Virginia Tech. Number 17, the Tennessee Volunteers finished 9-4 last year, defeated Iowa in the Citrus Bowl. Their scheduled highlights for 2024 at home against NC State. Well, the game's in Charlotte, on the road against Oklahoma, at home against Alabama, at Georgia, November 16th. The Tennessee Volunteers, I think I would have them around 17 as well. Washington Huskies, 14-0. They're in the championship game. They're in the championship game tomorrow on Monday. Holy smokes. Action Network has the Huskies at number 16. I think that is fair as well. Of course, they're losing a lot of their top guys, but I would not have Kalen DeBoer's Washington Huskies ranked any lower than number 16th. I think that's a fair spot for them. September 14th, the game, Washington State in Seattle. Rival game on the docket. Not a conference game anymore, but a big-time rival game. They're at home against Michigan, on the road to Iowa, at home against USC, on the road against Penn State. The first year for the Washington Huskies in the Big Ten. Number 15, Mike Gundy's Oklahoma State Cowboys. According to Action Network, this season they finished 10-4 again. They came on strong as well, defeated Texas A&M in the Texas Bowl. The scheduled highlights against the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. They open the season August 31st. Cowboys, you got to be up for that game. South Dakota State is no joke. South Dakota State playing in the FCS championship game today against Montana Grizzly. Oklahoma State then plays Arkansas at home. On the road to Kansas State, at home against Utah and West Virginia. Number 14 is the LSU Tigers. Brian Kelly. They start this season September 1st in Las Vegas against Big Ten's USC. Holy smokes. LSU finished 10-3. A roller coaster over the year. They had Jaden McDaniel, the Heisman Trophy winner, which I agreed with. Nussmeier going to be the quarterback for 2024, I believe so. They're at home against UCLA, at home against Ole Miss, on the road Texas A&M, at home Alabama, on the road to Florida, and at home at Oklahoma. That looks like a pretty tough schedule to me for LSU Tigers. Number 13, according to Action Network, they lose Dylan Gabriel. This might be a little bit too high for Oklahoma. I will not have them at 13. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section below the video. They finished 10-3, lost to Arizona in the Alamo Bowl. They have a home game against Tennessee. This is the Sooners' first game in the SEC. They're on the road to Alabama. They play Texas, of course, in Dallas. They're on the road, Ole Miss, on the road against Missouri, at home against Alabama, on the road against LSU. Again, holy smokes to that schedule for Oklahoma Sooners. 13th, to me, is a little high. Kansas State, 9-4, defeated North Carolina State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Scheduled highlights, at home against Arizona, at home against Oklahoma State, at home against Kansas, on the road Colorado, and at West Virginia. They have the bigger games, I believe. Kansas State has the bigger games at home. If you look at their entire schedule, I think the schedule lines up well for the Kansas State Wildcats as long as Avery Johnson is the guy that everybody thinks he is. Kansas State Jayhawks are looking to be giving Kansas and Arizona and Oklahoma State a run for the Big 12 championship, a championship that the Kansas State Wildcats won back in 2022. Excuse me. Number 11, according to Action Network, Penn State Nittany Lions finished 10-3, lost to Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl, on the road against West Virginia. First game of the year. They played in 2023. Penn State got them. This year, West Virginia is going to be a whole lot more confident. At home against UCLA, on the road against USC and Wisconsin, at home against the Buckeyes, and on the road against the Washington Huskies. Penn State, number 11. Am I going to get fooled by Penn State this year once again? I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, we shall see. I don't believe I'm going to have Penn State in my way too early college football 12-team expanded playoffs. I'm not sure about Drew Aller anymore. I have lost confidence. Number 10, the Missouri Tigers finished 11-2. Incredible season. Unbelievable season, and I think they are ready to rock and roll in the 2024 season. I would have Missouri at number 10, maybe at number 9 even. Texas A&M on the road. They start this first big game of the season at home against Auburn, on the road against Alabama, at home against Oklahoma. Their schedule is doable as well. If you look at it compared to the other SEC teams, Missouri Tigers' schedule lines up perfect for them. Number 9, Ole Miss Rebels. I think this is a little high. I would have Missouri ahead of Ole Miss, especially now that they just lost Judkins. I know Ole Miss they've hit it big in the portal. They've got their returning quarterback, Jackson Dart, coming back. A lot of good things happening. I think Ole Miss is going to be a contender for the college 12-team college football playoffs. I just think number 9 is a little high. They defeated Penn State in the Peach Bowl. At South Carolina, at LSU to begin the month of October. At home against Oklahoma. At home against Georgia. At home against Mississippi State. Action Network has the Arizona Wildcats at number 8. Wow. Woo! Unbelievable season last year. 10-3. 10-3, defeated Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl. Noah Fafita, holy smokes. At Kansas State on September 14th, at home against West Virginia, at home against Colorado. If you look at Arizona's Big 12 schedule, it's pretty nice. They're going to make a run. They're going to be challenging for the Big 12 championship. I believe they are. Oklahoma State, Arizona, Kansas State, even possibly West Virginia. Those are the teams I believe are going to be challenging for the Big 12 championship. In Arizona, looks like Action Network has them as the chalk, as the favorite. And that's important. When we're done with the top 25, we're going to be putting them in their playoff spots, right? The 12-team playoff spots. Arizona Wildcats look like they might be getting a bye in the first round. Hint, hint. Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 10-3 in 2023, defeated Oregon State in the Sun Bowl. Big games against at Texas A&M, at home Louisville, at home Florida State, on the road to USC. Notre Dame is going to be very, very good in 2024. Marcus Freeman has done an unbelievable job. Got a new offensive coordinator. All these big-time players coming in. Riley Leonard. They've filled up that wide receiver room. That's been a weakness over the last 5, 6, 7 years. Notre Dame is a threat. Now, they can't get into the top 4 rankings of the college football playoffs, but they're going to be right there. Notre Dame Fighting Irish, I believe, is a lock to get to the college football playoffs. Number 6, Texas Longhorns. Action Network has Texas coming back, even though they're playing in the SEC. Brett McMurphy, Action Network, believes Texas is going to be one of the top 6 teams in the land. They start September 7th on the road at the Big House, Ann Arbor, Michigan. October 12th, they're at home while they play Oklahoma and Dallas, at home against Georgia, on the road at Texas A&M, Texas Longhorns. Quinn Ewers coming back. Their starting quarterback had a brilliant year, is coming back. Number 5, Ohio State Buckeyes. Maybe a little high for me. Now, Will Howard, that helps. Jack Sawyer coming back, that helps. I wouldn't have, maybe I would have Ohio State at number 6 or number 7. We shall see. But number 5, the Buckeyes have had a very good last few days. Very good last few days. They have got some guys they really needed to get. 11-2 last year, lost to Missouri in the Sugar Bowl. On the road to Michigan State, at home against Iowa. On the road against Oregon. At home against Nebraska, on the road, Penn State. At home, of course, the game, Michigan, November 30th. But the Buckeyes have that game at home. Number 4, Action Network, Alabama, Crimson Tide. Finished last season 12-2. Lost to Michigan in the college football playoff semifinal. They're on the road at Wisconsin. At home against Georgia. At home against South Carolina. On the road, Tennessee. At home, Missouri. On the road, LSU. On the road, Oklahoma. Very tough schedule for Alabama. They get their quarterback back. Can they do it? Or is the slip are they going to keep slipping? I think they're going to keep slipping. Now, I do have them in the college football playoff next year in my way too crazy, way too early prediction that I did a few weeks ago. But number 4 in the land, I think that's a little high for Alabama. Number 3, Action Network, Brett McMurphy, the Oregon Ducks, 12-2, defeated Liberty in the Fiesta Bowl. Oregon Ducks, first year in the Big Ten, they got Dylan Gabriel. Oregon's got Dylan Gabriel. I think it's a perfect spot for himself in Oregon. They start the season against Boise State. On the road, Oregon State. On the road, UCLA. At home against Ohio State. On the road against Michigan. At home against Washington. Holy smokes. We have Oregon being the one of the last 2 at-large teams to make it into the playoffs. We do not have them at number 11. We have them about number 10 or number 11. But the Oregon Ducks, Action Network believes in the Ducks. They are number 3. Number 2, Michigan Wolverines. Now, we don't know if J.J. McCarthy is going to be the quarterback. We don't even know if Jim Harbaugh is going to be the head coach. But I would still have Michigan at number 2. I would have them at number 2 if I knew J.J. McCarthy was coming back. For sure, I would have Michigan number 1. It's probably what I'm going to do. Michigan Wolverines, 14-0. Their scheduled highlights for 2024: at home against Texas, at home against UCLA, on the road Washington, at home Michigan State, at home Oregon, on the road to Ohio State. The game, Michigan number 2. And of course, that would leave the Georgia Bulldogs, 2021 2022 national champions. 13-1, scheduled highlights for next year. They play that Clemson game in Atlanta. Boys, that's going to tell us a lot. Now, because of the 12-team playoffs, Georgia, Clemson, they can lose that game and survive, right? There's plenty of time. 12 teams in the playoffs. Only one of them going to be for a G5 school. So whoever loses that game is not out of it. And that's one of the many reasons why I love the 12-team expanded playoffs. They're going to be on the road against Alabama, at home against Auburn, on the road against Texas, at home against Florida or in Jacksonville, on the road at Ole Miss, at home against Tennessee. Those are your top 25. The Brett McMurphy Action Network, way too early top 25. Put down your comments and thoughts in the comments section below the video. Give us your opinion. What did Brett McMurphy get wrong? What did he get right? Did you agree with my breakdown or not on certain teams? This is how, let's just magically say that that's how the season ended. The way Brett McMurphy has in his top 25, that would line up a playoff of number 5, Oregon versus number 12, a G5 school. The top ranked G5 conference champion. Now, if you see, Brett McMurphy did not have a G5 school in the top 25. Liberty's quarterback, Salter, is coming back. He went in the portal. He took himself out of the portal. He's coming back to Liberty. I'm imagining Liberty is going to be the chalk for most when it comes to predicting who's going to be the top-ranked G5 champion. So we'll just put Liberty in there for now, even though Action Network does not. Let's just pretend it's Oregon 5, Liberty number 12. Number 6, Ohio State at home against number 11, Penn State. Number 7, Texas at home against number 10, Missouri. And number 8, Notre Dame at home against Ole Miss, number 9. The winner of the Oregon-Liberty game would play Georgia. The winner of the Buckeyes-Penn State game would play Alabama. The winner of the Texas-Missouri game would play Michigan. And the winner of number 8, Notre Dame versus number 9, Ole Miss would play versus Arizona. Arizona would get the 4th spot. They would get the 4th spot, even though they're 8 in the rankings, because they would be considered one of the top 4 conference champions, ranked conference champions. Arizona would get the bye and have the number 4 spot, so that moved a lot of teams down a spot. So there it is. There is your way too early Brett McMurphy Action Network top 25. And we broke down how it would look like in the college football playoffs. Because this year, starting right now, everybody talking about their way too early top 25. Take a look at what it would look like if you break it down and put it in the layout of the 12-team expanded playoffs. There is going to be some crazy scenarios, right? We're going to see it. We're going to be seeing a Michigan, Ohio State in the first round of the playoffs or the second round. We're going to see an Alabama versus Ole Miss in the first round of the college football playoffs. We're going to see some crazy rivals, big time rivals, playing in the first round of the college football playoffs. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. This is going to be a great year, full of drama every single week. So stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner, and let's buckle up. Brace for impact. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.